Hello and welcome to Weekend Investing Daily Bites. We are shooting episode number 108 and we are going to talk about what is any investor's worst enemy. And you probably guessed it, but we'll walk through the emotions of the conventional investors who do mostly discretionary type of investing and what they go through. But first, let's take a look at the markets. So, despite having a very strong run up in the markets yesterday, uh, the entire day today was spent in going down and reversing almost all gains that we saw yesterday. So, this setup that we had yesterday, which was looking like a strong leg up starting off, seems to have been nullified so far. The overseas cues during the day were pretty negative. Dow futures were trading at minus 400. The Indian rupee is going for a toss. It was up at nearly 75 rupees. So all cues were pointing to possible heavy FII selling on the day. The numbers that we will find later in the evening. So within the sectors, the stocks that had recently run up, reality, some pharma, some PSU banks, commodities, metals, they took a good beating, and some stocks remained reasonably strong, like the energy sector, the public sector enterprise, and some stocks in the FMCG also did not fall as much as others. But the market was, a bit overbought last couple of days, but it did seem like it would carry, but it couldn't carry, and any negative news actually could have brought it down, and so it did. In terms of the indices, almost all indices you can see here, from small cap 100 to mid cap 400, small cap 250, CNX 500, almost all were down about 1%. Within the strategies at weekend investing, also we saw strategies going down almost from 0 to minus 1.8%, a range across that, and one strategy, MIA MT all cap, standing out and going in fact the other way into the green, largely on the back of one or two stocks really doing well today. So overall, really nothing to worry about yet, but this market seems to be stalling at this point, both the Indian market and the international market, and it is to be seen whether we can pick up another leg up, or are we going to soften in October. September and October are statistically softer months for the markets, and historically few years would have seen very large gains in these 2 months. Most of the years would be flattish or slightly in the red. So it seems like we are going that way for October so far, but you never know. Coming back to the topic of the day, so investors' worst enemy, as you guessed it probably by now, is likely you yourself. The investor's chief problem and even his worst enemy is likely to be himself. This is a quote from Benjamin Graham, father of investing. And we'll see how this happens in actual practice. So we'll walk through a regular, you will have seen this emotional roller coaster chart many times, but when you go through each phase and you try to link it to your actions that you have done in your own investing, you will find that these biases are there sometime or the other. Sometimes you have made some mistakes, the other times you made the other mistakes, but almost everybody would have gone through these emotions, through these phases in their journey at some point of time. I have actually, so I can admit that I have probably gone through these emotions all the time before I moved to non-discretionary system, where the emotions get cut out and at least reduced, if not I can say cut out 100%, but reduced dramatically, and the guesswork is taken out. So a person would see a price, going up and sort of trending up and making a higher low and a higher high, and he would say, I would like to watch this market. The stock is going up. The stock goes up more. The investor starts to feel that if I wait any longer, I will not be able to profit from it because I've already lost, this entire gain that has happened in front of me. I've been watching it since 100 rupees and now it is at 200 rupees. And if I don't buy it now, I'll lose the opportunity. So he buys it there. And then the stock moves up a little bit more. And the investor says, see, I did a great job. I bought it while it was rising and at a good price. And my decision was good that I didn't wait any further to buy this. So this small incremental gain is able to satisfy his decision making ego, if I may say, that yes, I've taken the right decision and it is going in my favor. Then the stock may start to fall, and this is just a hypothetical situation. It may or may not happen with you, but most people would have gone through this. So now you are, although it is a bit below your buying price, but you are not very worried about it, because by now you've studied the stock, and by now you know all its pros and cons, and more pros, I suppose, and you've studied all the past history, the vendors, the margins, the other marquee investors who are into the stock, all potential positives, low outstanding number of stocks maybe, so the float is less, and anybody could corner it very easily, or market leading position, market share is very high, so on and so forth, to justify your position. And now you are saying, the market, it is correcting a bit, I could use this correction to buy my position more, I could average this out, and it is almost maybe halved again from where you bought it, and you could double your position, and if the stock moves even half of what it has dropped, I'll be able to at least come back to my original price. So your first buy price has now anchored in your mind. Let's say it was 200 rupees where you bought here, and now it is at 100. So now our focus has moved from whether this stock is worth at 100 or not. Let's say this point is 100 and you bought it at 200 and now it is dropping. So what is our mind thinking? At 200, our mind was thinking whether this stock is worth 200 or not. Right? It was worth 100 here. We kept watching it. It went to 200. We still told ourselves that the stock is still worth 200. I can see 500 on this. Right? But now it has come down to 100. And the same thesis for which you had bought it at 200 has now emboldened. You have strengthened that thesis now, that I bought it at 200 thinking that it will go to 500. Now it is at 100. So it's even cheaper actually. It's even a better bet to buy now. And maybe I made a mistake by buying it too early at 200, and 100 is definitely fantastic value, and I should double my position, and there's no worry, I will see through this entire rally again. Now the price has gone half again. You are now in some sort of disbelief. You have bought here, you've doubled here, and it has moved down from your average price. It is down. The funny part is that the stock fundamentals, the stock potential, the stock's future is not in your frame of mind now. Your frame of mind is now anchored to that average price, and the stock has no allegiance to that average price. If that average price is 400, 300, 200, 100, The stock doesn't care about it. The stock is a independently randomly moving price, and it doesn't care whether A or B or C has bought at X, Y or Z prices. There is no correlation to that. But in our mind, in our own investing framework, that price has a very major role now, and the performance or the potential of the stock possibly does not have that much role to play anymore. We are already sort of wedded to the stock, and also wedded to the stock at a particular price. Now the price is lower. What do? Either the situation arises where you realize that no, the stock is not going to 500, the fundamentals have changed, this is going to 50. So let me book my loss and get out of it. That is one rational way of thinking. The other could have been that I bought it at 200, I bought it at 100 again. I should have some floor below which I don't want to go. So that's a hard stop. Maybe a price based stop. It has nothing to do with deteriorating or improving fundamentals. But usually this will not happen. 99% cases this will not happen because we are human beings and we don't like loss. And we will go all the way to justify our position to ourselves. We don't have to justify to anybody else. But to justify to ourselves that yes, we have bought here, this is a good stock. And we will find even more reasons now by associating with more people who are in the same boat, and they will sort of massage each other that yes, you are doing something really good and the value is there. And it is there sometimes, I'm not saying this is the case always, but what I'm trying to showcase is that our own bias becomes our enemy. So you are trying to convince yourself at each price point that no, I've taken a right decision, without actually making a rational review of what the situation is now. The market price is telling you something, but you are saying, no, I will not believe the price. There is no concept of Bhav Bhagwanche. We will now, my average price is my anchor. Now I have to make sure how I reach back my average, by hook or by crook. So now we are stuck with that average price, and we will do average, some profit booking, average profit booking, something like this will keep going on till we get to that price. And many times we will just get out of that counter once that price is reached. So what have you done? We wasted 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, whatever is the time frame. We invested money, we lost the opportunity cost of that money, and we are out at evens in the best case scenario, and we have nothing to show in terms of our efforts. But that is the best case scenario. The worst case scenario is coming here. So now, you are totally perplexed. You are totally in the quandary what to do. And now you are trying to shift the blame to others. So, this is not my problem. What I did was right. This is a problem created by others. Somebody is bear hammering this stock. The regulator is not doing their job. The promoters are pushing their price down to accumulate more stock. Some operators are in the game. Some FINO play is happening. Some put buyers are pushing it down. You will have all kinds of theories to prove that what you did was right and what is happening is wrong, and it is something, you are being singled out, and it was not your mistake, and you are the innocent person here, and you should be absolved of this crime that is happening against you. Goes further down. Now your back is broken. Your 100 rupees, 200 rupees, averaged at 100, average of 150 is now at 20 rupees, 30 rupees, 40 rupees, whatever. Now you are really heartbroken, and you are saying, I cannot deal with this anymore. Stock market is for gamblers, and stock market is for traders, and is no place for investors. And I am never going to invest in stocks again. I am going to sell all my positions, and I'm getting out. I've had enough of this. This usually happens when the capitulation phase in a stock or a index takes place. That is what capitulation is. The fierce movement at the last end of a down move is where most people are throwing in the towel and saying we are getting out. That is the last phase of the fall. And maybe after you sold maybe a few percentage down, it moves down, and then you're feeling happy about that. All the misery that you had, now by just watching the screen and saying, I sold at 20 and now see it is at 15. I did the right thing. You are consoling yourself that, see, at least I saved 5 rupees on that and I am happy. That happiness does not last too long actually. Stock may start to rise and you may say, okay, it may bounce around, but I know the stock will not rise anymore. And stock may fall and you may say, see, I told you, stock will not rise. The stock is gone. And then stock starts to rise and you are perplexed, what is happening. Maybe, just the overall market has gone up, so the stock has also gone up. So, but fundamentals are not there for this stock to be priced here anymore. You are convinced that this 30, 40, 50 rupee price, the stock is not worth that much because you have sold at 20, 25 and in your mind you have anchored that this stock is not worth it at that point of time. And then the story changes, stock moves up again and you are now again trying to convince yourself, मुझे पता था, it will come back up again. I made a mistake. I should have bought there. But now at 100 rupees again, how can I buy it? I sold it at 20. I should have bought it at 20, 30, 40, 50. Now it is at 100. How can I buy it again? What will my family tell me? You bought at 150, sold at 20. Now you're buying at 100 again. What will my friends tell me? Moves up again. It's again near 200. You're saying, okay, this was a bad phase of the market, and I made a mistake. I should never throw my position away. Let me buy it again. And you buy it again at a reasonably high price. And this cycle may or may not repeat again, but these lessons do get learnt by everybody. And the way to, improve upon this, and the first timers, of course, will always have to go through some of these lessons. Many people go through it many times. I have gone through it many times. The hard lesson I learned is that I am not built to withstand all these emotions. Let me go non-discretionary way. I am happy with making a little less money in terms of percentage, but at least I am more at peace. And I am not double guessing what my position is, what the market will do every day. And I'm standing, sort of away from the market and letting all the drama happen there and watching it from the side, putting my money in every month. And I know I will catch the bigger trends in the market and the stocks that are moving up, and I have no association or marriage with any of those stocks or situation, and I am quite happy with that. You may not be, but I am, and several others may want to come to this side of the river. Not everybody can handle non-discretionary, but not everybody can handle discretionary also. So this was a small sort of story ride in the ocean of emotions, and the biggest enemy, the worst enemy for most people is you yourself. So you please discover yourself. If you find that you have been your worst enemy, please move over to the other side. Thank you. See you in another video. Bye.